Hey everyone, in front of me I have two cameras. This here is the Canon C100. This here is the Sony A7RV. Now the question I'm going to be answering in this video is, should you buy something like this, a cinema camera, or this, a hybrid photo video mirrorless camera? Now if you came here looking for a short answer, just a quick yes, no, this, that, if you're looking for this video and if you're asking yourself this question, it is likely that this camera will better suit your needs than what this camera has to offer here. Now that doesn't mean that you could benefit from the things that this camera has. It's just that this camera here has a lot and you'll end up paying for it both in price and in weight, when you'd actually be better off with something that's lighter and cheaper. Now in most cases, a cinema camera is going to be more expensive than a regular mirrorless camera, but in this case, it's a bit of a special case. This camera is actually a little more expensive than this, but regardless, you're still going to be paying more in the weight of this camera. Now let me share a little bit about myself. So my name is Ryan Doble. I own a media production company and I primarily shoot with this if it's me who's shooting. I might work with other people who bring their own gear and maybe they do have a cinema camera, maybe they don't. But if I'm on a project, this is all I'm using and this is totally enough for me. So why did I choose a mirrorless camera instead of a cinema camera? If you feel the weight of this thing, you'll kind of understand. This camera can fit into my backpack. I can take off the lens, take off the cage, take off the handle, take off everything, and it's tiny. It still has a full frame sensor. In fact, the sensor here is bigger than what you find in super 35mm cameras, such as this here, the C100. And look at how much smaller it is. This is way smaller than this huge body that you have here. Regardless of its weight, it can still deliver absolutely everything that my clients would ever need, including 8K video if I need it, which I don't really need. Picture quality that you wouldn't be able to tell the difference of what it was shot on. I can throw it on a lighter gimbal. I can rig it up to something more sophisticated if I need, but I don't need to do that every single time. If my client's happy, that's all that matters to me. So if I can save myself all that extra weight, all that extra hassle, then I will save that with this camera here. Now, if I'm shooting with this huge crew and I have a whole bunch of people for a whole bunch of different things, that's where something like this starts to make a little bit more sense. First of all, you have all these buttons here, which let you control whatever you'd like, including your white balance, just like that. You could set your white balance to white card. You can automatically set the aperture, or you can manually set it up here. For an ND filter, you don't even have to put anything onto the front of your lens. You have it in front of the sensor, and you can control it right over here without doing literally anything. Basically, every single one of these buttons can also be programmed to do whatever you want. You can lock so that other people don't accidentally hit things and change things for you. You have microphone controls right up here, which let you have phantom power with your microphones, 2 channels. You can have a shotgun mic right here, just always ready to go, recording scratch audio. This camera has it all. With this camera, you can shoot on a huge set with a team and not be held back by anything. Now, with this camera, you'll notice I don't really have any XLR inputs. The only audio input I have here is for a 3.5mm jack. And that's still fine for scratch audio and certain projects, but something like this will give you much more professional sounding audio and is just overall designed for a more professional use case. You've got your controls here. You can control what you need. Most of these buttons are programmable as well, which is nice, but that's not the case with all mirrorless cameras. If you're going to put an ND filter on, you're going to have to actually find what the circumference of your lens is and then put a filter on top of it, which is of the correct size, screw it on, and then you can use that ND filter. For this, it doesn't matter what lens you have on there, regardless of the size of the front element. You could just swap to whatever lens with a totally different size, and you still have ND filters which you can use. It's just overall more designed for a huge, big professional workflow, whereas something like this is a little bit more chill. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use this for something big and professional like that, because you can still completely rig out this camera to be a crazy cinema camera if you need. That's why I really like this camera, because it gives me a bit of the best of both worlds. I can still use it as a one-man band, small projects. I can use it for photography actually, which you can't really do with a cinema camera. Now, some cinema cameras you can take photos with, but this is specifically designed for both photo and video. It's a hybrid camera. So for me, I shoot with this because I can't benefit from everything that this has to offer given its extra size. I'd just rather have something smaller, and if I need what this has to offer, I can rig out my camera to do the same. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found something valuable. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I have a lot of cool content if you want to check it out. There's going to be some videos at the end that you can click. Check those out. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.